Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, my friends, and welcome to me, Mom, and Dad. This is our 15th episode. It'll be a year in April doing this podcast. Podcasting is so fun. It is the new upcoming technology with folks. It's the new thing that people are taking to. For you new listeners, I am Tia, and my dad is Harold. My mom is Gloria. My parents are 84. My dad is 84. My mom is 82. And this podcast was originally started because my dad, some years ago, about 4 years ago now, was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And we had some ups and downs in the beginning, but we learned a lot of great and valuable information that I wanted to share with the Parkinson's community. And that is how this podcast started. But it turns out the three of us are a hoot. We share our daily journeys with dealing with my dad's Parkinson's, and I'm sharing fruitful, great days that he has too. It's not all doom and gloom. It's some great information. That's how this podcast started. But it turns out we're just sharing faith and hope and to never give up. At the moment, my mom and dad are at the gym right now. Uh, my mom drives the two of them around. My dad could drive, but with the Parkinson's, we just don't allow him to drive anymore. And at the moment, the two of them are at the gym. So that is what we share on these podcasts, too, how we just keep moving and laughing and cooking, of course. This podcast turned into a sharing recipe type of thing, too, because lots of family and friend gather around our home because cooking brings people together. And so there's some great cooks in our family. I'm one of them, please. I don't want to be arrogant about it, as my brother is very arrogant about it in a fun way. So we share recipes too. And on this episode, stay tuned. I will be sharing potato soup. At the moment, the whole country is in an Arctic freeze. We're freezing, so we feel like we want to make some soups all over the place. So I'm going to share potato soup and roasted chicken. So stay tuned. As I said, our days are mostly filled with hope and faith and joy through our everyday challenges, dealing with my dad's Parkinson's. It turns out the three of us are really, really a hoot. We are always laughing and singing and, of course, cooking. I mentioned before my dad's 84 years old, and he is a funny, funny guy as is. He's just funny. Some funny stories about my dad. He, as you get older, you find yourself. I'm talking about myself too. Just naming any kind of thing the wrong name as we get older. And my dad is real funny at those things. Some funny things about him. He'll say, how about we go to Ed's Club? And my nephews were sitting there like, Ed's Club? What is Pop Pop talking about? Ed's Club is Sam's Club, my friends. Uh-huh. And now it's like a funny family thing. We all just kind of make fun of him in a funny way. We're like, how about we go to Ed's Club? And we know we're saying Sam's Club. He'll say, I want to go to China Gardens. China Gardens is, drumroll please, Olive Gardens. And we laugh at his funny things. It's not funny when he loses his iPhone. He's 84 and he has his iPhone, his new technology of the day. And this is the third time this week he has dropped his iPhone. Praise the Lord. He he puts it in his tracksuit pants and he goes to the gym and lays down on a machine and it falls out of his pocket. That's the first time this month. Then the second time was again the other day. He's going for some rehab for his hip. Rather than have surgery, he's having some rehab. So I thought, let me call the parents and check on them. I always, if I'm somewhere else, I'll call and just make sure they're okay. And I called his iPhone and I kept calling it. They didn't pick up. And the lady at the front desk, she's like, we're looking for Mr. Thompson. His iPhone is here. iPhone dropped again. And I'm like, Dad, please put it in your pocket or put it in Mom's purse, pocketbook. And of course, they don't listen to me. So that's like the third time his iPhone, but praise the Lord, it's the third time he got it back. And his ringtone is the freaks come out at night. The freaks come out at night. My sister thought it was funny to put the freaks come out at night on his cell phone. That is the reason why the ladies at the front desk of the rehab place, I called 3 times. Nobody picked up. Finally, they picked up because the freaks come out at night kept playing. So she answers the phone. She's like, can somebody please come get this iPhone? And he likes to sit and take his finger and thumb through the iPhone. He's pretty good at dialing us and going through it, but the other technology on the iPhone is really quite funny. He wants to learn how to text, and he'll just be taking his finger and picking on any app, and the phone ends up, when I pick it up, it's like all over the place with apps open. And he'll butt dial you in a minute, at any moment. He called me the other day, and I'm like, hello, Dad. He's like, yeah, I didn't call you. And I'm like, yes, you did. He's like, this phone is crazy. It's crazy because it just started ringing. And I'm like, okay, Dad, but you called me. So it's funny. All these incidents, I'm like, oh, my life, my life. But all these crazy incidents, honestly, my friends, I wouldn't trade. I wouldn't trade any of these crazy incidents with my parents. And so on these episodes, I'm always wanting to share some Parkinson's info that we have learned with the Parkinson's community. Remember, my friends, absorption of the yellow pill, we call it. The Parkinson's medication mostly is cortidopa levodopa. We call it the yellow pill. And remember that we discovered how my dad has a fruitful life. Most days he walks around and you would not know that he has Parkinson's most days because we let the yellow pill absorb on an empty stomach 2 hours before he eats. And really 2 hours after he eats, we wait 2 hours again. And have shared this with folks, and doctors try to help us with that, the neurologists, but that is a valuable information if you can take 2 hours. We were giving it to him in the beginning of his diagnosis, like 30 minutes before he eats, plop, he would fall to the ground. And we learned this. And also protein for breakfast. No protein like literally hardly any protein. We give him just a little bit of fruit and some kind of Danish that has hardly no protein. Whenever we give him eggs or milk, it literally cancels the yellow pill, the medication. So we've learned to, at least for breakfast, no protein. Lunch and dinner is fine. He seems to be able to, the medication, it seems to be fine with protein. That's the good news. It's not like he can't have protein all day. Just for breakfast, we have learned, and he does very well with this strict routine. And it is strict because there are times where we might want to go out for breakfast or have a big breakfast, and we tried it, we've experimented with it, and it does not, protein does not go well with the medication. I read this in the Michael J. Fox brochure about the protein, and sharing that with you, my friends. Also, exercise, exercise, exercise. Every episode, I am shouting it from the rooftops. It is miracles for the Parkinson's patient, riding the stationary bike, these boxing programs around the country. It is miracles for the Parkinson's patients. It is proven to be awesome. And so that has my mom is at the gym. That's exercise for her, and it's exercise for me too. I ride the bike, they go to the gym. Exercise is the key, my friends. Those of you who don't have Parkinson's, it is an example for us all that exercise is it's good. It's a good thing. We're always sharing joy, joy, joy. My family is always coming to visit, family and friends. It was just the holidays. It's January now, the end of January. And we've had friends and family always. Next coming up will be my sister-in-law. She'll be coming in a couple weeks. We do this to bring joy to my dad's face. The Parkinson's book that I read some time ago said, keep the Parkinson's patient happy. And that's how we do it. My brother, my sister, lots of folks come and visit him, and it lights his face up, and it does light my mom and I, our lives up too, as caretakers. And joy, joy, joy. Keep joy, even if you're not dealing with Parkinson's. With anything in our lives, just keeping family and friends together keeps depression and sadness away. And that is how we do it. Um, and I always like to share with you. I will record an interview with anyone who is visiting us. So I will share the grandchildren of my mom and dad, my nephews, my wonderful nephews, talking about their grandpa. Here's my nephews. We're here with Harold Thompson's two favorite grandkids. Here, we can't say that to the rest of them, but Andrew Thompson and Nicholas Thompson, my brother's wonderful son. Say hello, Andrew.
Hi, Georgia, America, whoever's listening to this podcast.
Nick.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
What we're doing is sharing the Parkinson's books. One of their lines says, keep the Parkinson patient happy. And you guys coming, that's what it does. Keeps Harold Thompson, your grandpa, happy, happy, happy. Anything you want to say, Andrew? Andrew's a great drummer.
What are you talking about, Parkinson's?
Talking about how you love your grandpa.
Oh, well, I love him dearly. He fed me my first cashew, which I almost died from.
Because he's allergic to cashews?
It's a memory I'll never forget, just sitting there.
And you were young. You remember that?
Yeah, just sitting there dying, right in the living room.
You said, I'm feeling tingly. I'm feeling tingly. You were only like 3 years old, right? How old were you?
Some 3, 4.
You weren't 4. You were very young.
All right, well then, okay.
And how much you like your grandpa?
Love him from here to the moon and back.
Tell him how most days you can't even tell your pop has Parkinson's because he is tough cookie.
Oh yeah, because at first it was noticeable because whenever he'd get up, he'd like wobble, whether it was subtle.
Yeah, when he first got diagnosed.
Yeah, but now he's just like, he doesn't need the cane anymore. He's just like,
moving and shaking.
Yeah, he's like he's 23 or something.
Right, and that's from exercise, going to the gym and strengthening his body, right?
Yeah, just stepping around like he's 23, getting up.
He has his on and off days.
Not telling anybody when he's leaving.
Just going out ranching. Ranching is picking up.
Ranching when I came here. He was out there raking up leaves.
In the hot sun.
Ranching. Sweat. He was all soaked in sweat.
Right.
He said he's not going to sit here and be a victim. He's going to get out and do something.
Yeah, that's right. And he's an example to us as a family. The Thompson boys, Andrew Thompson, Nicholas Thompson, they are out. Say bye.
Bye, guys.
My wonderful, wonderful nephews talking about their grandpa. And you can hear from them that they agree that over the years with this Parkinson's, we have figured out how to make my dad's life more productive and fruitful. And when they're here, we are cooking. I make homemade biscuits when they're here, and their Grammy cooks, my brother cooks, and it's just a house full of family. So, my friends, we're going to share my wonderful potato soup recipe. So get your pens. I will tell you what the ingredients are. First, you need 3.5 cups of peeled and diced potatoes, a third cup of diced celery, 1/3 cup finely chopped onion, 3/4 cup of diced cooked. You need bacon. I say 3/4 cup of cooked crispy bacon. It don't have to be 3/4 cup. You're just using it for garnish. So I say 3/4 cup. You might a couple pieces of bacon. 3/4 cup, 3 1/4 cups of water. 2 tablespoons chicken bouillon. The cubes of bouillon, my friends. 1/2 teaspoon of salt to taste. 1 teaspoon of pepper to taste. 5 tablespoons of butter. 5 tablespoons all-purpose flour. 2 cups of milk. I like to use half and half. My mom's having some acid reflux, so the other day we made potato soup with 2% milk. It was okay. It was good. But of course, that's real good with whole milk or half and half milk. But you can use 2%. So combine the potatoes, celery, onion, water, and stock pot. And that is putting your bouillon cubes in the water and boiling your water with the bouillon cubes, right, my friends? I'm always trying to not act like everybody cooks because my friends told me to stop pretending like everybody understands. So you're going to take your 3 1/4 cups of water, put your bouillon cubes in the water and let it boil. And you're making chicken bouillon. Once it boils up, then you put your potatoes, celery in the boiling water. Your potatoes, your celery, and all that's going to cook down. About, 10 minutes or so. Salt with a little bit of salt. Not too much salt because chicken bouillon's already salty. So maybe a pinch of salt to taste and pepper. In a separate saucepan, melt your butter. Because in your butter, you're going to whisk your flour to make a roux. It makes it thick. So when your butter's melting, put your flour, your 5 tablespoons of flour, and you're going to whisk that as it's melting. And you'll see the flour, the lumps will disappear. And slowly stir your milk in. Once you see the flour melting, it'll be a nice, smooth type of thick gravy. Okay? And then you pour your milk in. And once you're pour all that in, you pour your milk into your celery, potatoes, bouillon, stock pot mixture. And that, my friends, is your beautiful, it's a wonderful recipe, potato soup. Now, once you are ready to serve, once you might taste a potato and see if it's all done how you like it. It'll cook like a couple minutes once you pour your milk in, like 10 minutes on low. And when you're ready to serve, your crispy bacon is sitting to the side. I take some of the crispy bacon and garnish it in the middle with a couple pieces of chopped up crispy bacon and a little bit of cheddar cheese to garnish. Delicious for winter time or even summertime, but winter time is when we bring out all our soups. And I will share with you roasted chicken. I get a whole chicken. Whole chicken. Of course, you're going to wash your chicken. Make sure you go in the middle there and pull that bag of liver and gizzards and stuff out. Okay? Now, you're going to take some soft butter, a stick of butter. Stick of butter. Let it sit and temper. I take mine out in the morning, let it temper. It'll be soft. And then I spread this butter put your roasted chicken in a roasted pan. And I just spread this butter all over the roasted chicken. I know it's butter, but I've been doing this roasted chicken for years and it is tender and juicy. All right, spread your butter around there, my friends. And then I take rosemary. I like to use pepper flakes. I don't do much anymore of that because my mom, with her acid reflux, she can't do too much. So lots of herbs. Parsley, rosemary. What else do I use? Parsley, rosemary, any kind of basil flakes, any kind of herbs. You can't ruin this recipe. Any kind of herbs, it goes. And kosher salt. I use kosher salt, so I sprinkle the whole thing with kosher salt and pepper. The last thing I do is drizzle olive oil on top of everything. All around. Legs, wings, the breasts. And what we usually do is put roasted potatoes, raw potato, cut up some potatoes, put them around the roasted chicken. And carrots. I get the raw bag of carrots. Peel the skin off the carrots, chop them up like you like them. Put carrots all around there. Put some salt and pepper on the carrots and potatoes around your roasted chicken. And if you want, you can take a little drizzle to your honey. Drizzle some honey on your carrots. Delicious. Put this whole chicken. Oh, I sometimes put some celery around the carrots and potatoes too. And that makes a nice flavor. And put this whole roasted chicken in the oven on 375 for an hour. Look at it after an hour. If it looks nice and brown, you are good to go, depending on your oven. Um, if it's not brown, then you need to go hour and 15 to 20 minutes. It'll be nice golden brown. You're welcome. It's so good. Potato soup and roasted potatoes because cooking brings people together, and it does with all families and friends. And folks who are always coming to visit us, um, we get in the kitchen and we're just laughing and shooting the breeze. So we'll always be sharing recipes on this podcast. Please, my friends, when you are listening to this podcast, please subscribe on the page that you are listening from. Up the top, there's some little icons, and it's the icon that looks like that Wi-Fi rainbow, those rainbow lines, the Wi-Fi. You click on that, I believe, to subscribe. That supports this podcast. And thank you guys for listening. Remember to keep the faith, keep the laughter, and keep the joy. And thank you so much for listening to our 15th podcast. In April, it will be a year that we have been doing this podcast. And please share it with friends and loved ones. Podcasting is the new thing that people are enjoying. And we thank you for listening. Please subscribe and please enjoy the music.